What up, it's your boy Dvrth back again with another video, and today we are here with Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken episode 12. This is going to be the last episode of the series, and I don't think there's a season 2, so it makes it even more sad. Now, last episode we ended off on a kind of, not a down note, but we hit a bit of a snag with the composer not really giving us the correct sounding music, or at least it didn't fit. It didn't fit our vision, and I think that's what what they were trying to show overall in that last scene, is that it just didn't fit the vision. Like, it wasn't bad, but it did sure as hell did not fit the vision that everybody had for the end product, which is a very real thing, as I've been saying for the past 12 episodes, because it's a very real show in that aspect. So we're gonna see what goes down after, or see how they fix this, or see how they try to fix this, and hopefully we can round this show off on a very positive note. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, even though there's no season 2, or something totally different, the best way to send that in is always going to be my social media links, going to be in the description below, or you could just comment below. That's cool too. And if you want these episodes early, even though this is the last episode, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Link's gonna be in the description for that as well. We also have the full length reactions if that's what you want for these episodes. Let's just get into the episode. It's hot. Well, why are you wearing a sweatshirt? Because I'm a fucking maniac. Let's just get into it. Let's get our headphones. Make sure that they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. In 3, 2, 1. I suddenly got a vision of hot. What?
来たのは2週間前ですね。確認してなかったんすか。
Yeah.
この1曲しかないん
Yeah.
です。
1曲です。フィルムスコアリングでやろうとしたんじゃないですか。デモの曲に合わせてるから他の曲じゃない。
Well,
ダンス曲のデモは
I guess context is everything, so maybe we can't do any last minute changes.
使えませんね。わかりました。
Fuck?
夜間だとスタッフの深夜手当も発生しますし、明日の仕事にも影響が出る。あっちも仕事ですからね。
But kind of Mori's gonna be a fucking great executive for something. Doesn't even matter what. Like, yeah, right, okay, yeah, okay. So I was on the right track. I wasn't sure, but now that she's like bought us a little bit of extra time, I was like, maybe we can adjust. Like, if we can't fix the audio, we just adjust the visuals to fit the audio. And honestly, this works because now it shows the talent of our guys instead of the cooperation of the full team of the staff and people like that. Like, and of course our guys is like, that's who we're watching, so this is just a test for them. Of course they can do it. Of course they can. Oh, it's the last time. It's the last time. God, I'm gonna miss it. I say it like I don't listen to this this OP like all the time anyway. They're gonna have to. You get 2 10 6. Can't neck.
今ある素材を使ってどうにかする。ラストも新しく書くのは2カット。だから朝までには終わらせることができると思う。それで
Jesus.
納得できる作品になるの。
こういう大団円。
There's advance one, okay?
なわけない。
But that never
平和の中で
happened.
も存在が立場や利益を主張し始める。
Okay, fair. You want something a little bit more real.
利権が絡めば表
Education,
世の中
so.
大半は平和
My
じゃない。
God, what the fuck? Oh my God, reading the fucking Jesus fucking Christ. Reading subs in this show is already hard enough. That was hard.
血にも降りられないじゃん。二人とも も死ぬ気なの？
Yeah.
彼らが選ぶ道は
朝までですからね。
Jesus.
勝手に承知のつけ。
Roger Dodge. Oh fuck. This is like the ultimate crunch. The fuck? What the fuck?
約束のデータを納品しに来ました。
What the fuck?
DVD の手配はできました。あと43分30秒以内に終わらせてく
Whoa,
ださい。
whoa, 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 fuck! Oh my god, that is 43 minutes. I mean, people, that's a fucking crowd. That's a fucking crowd. I ain't about to lie, that's a fucking crowd. Time to rub my hands together like Birdman.
現実味を感じねえ。
That's
わしが
understandable.
知らない生活を送ってきた敵でも味方でもない人たちが
Fucking
ここ
with
に
your
金
shit.
を置いて
Yep.
板を持っていくのはなぜであるか。
Because they fuck with it. Pretty
光
much.
旅。
夢を作る理由とは、
Oh.
と想像させれば作品への興味も増幅し、
Oh.
一枚ください。
Bro, Kanamori for 12 episodes straight has been goaded.
実在するという要素を我々に取り込めた点で、今回は成功だったと思います。
SNS でも結構評判いいね。
Good job. God damn, they did a good. I ain't gonna. Is this the project? Did a really fuck? Oh my god. It's weird to say that in an anime about making an anime, but Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know why I'm excited to see the invisible laser, but I am, because you can't fucking see it, so I shouldn't be excited, but I am. There it is. I don't know why that's so cool to me. It's probably because the nerd in me likes that one. I'll say it like this. It's cool that within the anime, there is an animation style that they can rely on in order to show that this is the animation style of the character instead of the actual anime. But they did it in a way that's easily recognizable that, oh, that's an anime. That's the anime within their anime, which is basically just like a watered down version of the animation style that we're seeing, like in the normal anime. I don't, that may sound like fucking stupid. I tried my best to explain that. Now the question to ask is, without Midori explaining what the story was, would I have understood what the story was about? Like like a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh pair of ears, like, okay, I ain't never seen or heard this, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. It's also just cool to see their vision come to fruition. I almost forgot that they did change the ending. So, and I don't know what the ending actually is. I'm telling you, they wrote Attack on Titan. They basically wrote Attack on Titan. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm fucking with the ending, and then proceed to write a new one. Alright, okay. Now that translated pretty well. That translated pretty well. Yeah, okay. The part that matters is actually translating pretty damn well. Yeah, okay, they did a really good job with this part. I'm not gonna lie. They did a really good job. Like, everything else is really cool, but like this, obviously, they did a really fucking good job. What the fuck? Oh, okay. It's bringing everybody else into her world, which is that's great.
これは
とつきますが、明日もあるし帰りますか。
Nice. You did good, kid. You did good. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's cool as fuck. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. Sick. Love it. Love it. That's at the end? That is. What the fuck? That's the end. Okay. Fuck. That was sick. Alright. I felt like most of that reaction I was just like watching. And to be honest with you, not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. I'm gonna miss this ED as well. This ED is hard as hell. Hang on, let me hear it one more time. Yeah, this ED is hard. I'm gonna miss this. I gotta add this to my playlist. Now that I'm realizing that this show is over, I'm a lot sadder. Is that a word? Sadder? Is sadder a word? I'm a lot more sad than I thought I would be with this show ending. Because this was a real, like, I've said it, I think I said it before, but this is a show in which I almost kind of wish I wasn't reacting to it. Because it feels like one of those shows where you turn it on, you expect not much. You expect like a chill watch, you know, and while you don't come out of it with like a new meaning to life or anything like that, you come out of it with a new appreciation, or maybe a reinvigorated appreciation for life in the things that you enjoy, right? It's definitely one. It reminds me a lot of like the ending for Megalobox, where while I didn't come out of Megalobox like being like, oh my god, I see the universe and the world and society in such a different way now, I came out of it appreciating life in a different way. I came out of like appreciating my enjoyment of things in a different way. And this series definitely did the same thing for me, where every episode felt like I was watching from the outside looking in, where I was just I had that like Ed and Eddie vibe where I was like, oh yeah, can't wait to see what the gang gets up to next, all while watching, you know, them enjoy what they love to do, which is create anime. Now, with this final episode, it's very unorthodox in the way that they did this final episode, where instead of like kind of rounding things off with the gang, they rounded things off with the animation, which, to be honest with you, that's probably a good way to end this show. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a season 2 or anything like that, but it is a good way to end the show, to like end it with the final animation that they make, or not the final animation that they make, but the final animation that they make in this in this like 12 episode span. And the animation that they made in general was pretty good. Now, what I will say is that I was watching it with a pair of eyes, like a fresh pair of eyes, right? Like I was saying during the reactions, I tried to watch it with like a fresh pair of eyes. Like, would that have translated to me if Midori hadn't explained it earlier, right? And to me, a lot of it a lot of it I was like, okay, like there's a big war, right? Okay, going on. But where they hit the nail on the head the was the ending part, the more important parts, right? Where they tried to get the more philosophical and important message across to the viewer. That's where they hit the nail on the head, right? Everything else was like cool. I wasn't sure if it tracked with what I was understanding. There's a couple things that kind of tracked to me specifically, and probably when I go back and I watch it, it'll track with me a little bit more. But towards the end, where they're showing the actual like message of the anime, that's where they were really doing wonders there, I guess you could say, because seeing, like, having them both tap the fuel gauge and be like, oh shit, I'm out of fuel, and then having, you know, showing one on the sand, one in the water, like that those were not motifs, those were storytelling that that clearly and concisely explained to me what was going on, even if I hadn't got the information from Midori, that clearly and concisely explained to me what was going on. Now, as I was saying, they basically wrote Attack on Titan. I'm sorry if nobody's watched Attack on Titan, but they basically wrote Attack on Titan, and they even went a step further by having an ending, which I don't think we actually saw. She changed it, and honestly, once again, I think I've said this millions of times while watching this show, but it's so real for them to be like, oh shit, something doesn't fit or something isn't right and it wouldn't fit the story, and they have to go back to the drawing board and create something better. And I say better because in all reality, Midori had a very good point, is that wouldn't happen. Like having the whole, like, and they all get together and they dance and they spinning on their heads and they put the cardboard down and start b-boy stance. Like, no, that would not have happened. But whatever Midori changed the ending to had to have been better, because it was more realistic. Like, we saw the whole point where they were like going through all those words and stuff, and oh my god, like there's one thing about the show is that sometimes this show's subs are really hard to follow, but that time when they had 100,000 words on the screen while 100,000 words were flying by the screen while trying to watch oh my fucking god, I've never had a harder time trying to read subs than at that specific moment. But like I said, as I was saying, is what I should have said. As I was saying, the ending that she changed it to seemed to be a lot more real. It's, you know, and I think that is a more real take on how that would go. I recently, I think it was I don't know if it was a documentary or it was just like a YouTube video, but I watched something about the guy who wrote The Incredibles, and that guy went through a lot of setbacks while writing The Incredibles. To me personally, is like, not even personally, my nigga, The Incredibles has to be the best Pixar film on earth. Go argue with your mama. That is a fantastic film. It's written well, and the story is incredible. No pun intended. But this episode reminded me of that documentary or YouTube video, whatever the fuck I was watching, because while he like met setback after setback, it was kind of the same way with Midori, where you get to a setback and he didn't exactly get to end things, or he didn't get to like have certain plot elements that he wanted in the story. But the thing is that even though those setbacks took away some of the plot elements in the story that he wanted to, he ended up creating probably one of the best pieces of Pixar media that we have ever gotten. So in this episode, you know, it's very, you know, once again, it's very real that, yeah, sometimes negatives can spearhead positives. So I was really happy to see the whole gang like get together and be like, okay, well, shit, if it's gonna be like this, then we gonna have to do something about it. It was a very good way to have our group of people, our group of girls kind of have that last push of, yeah, this is our like final battle, like as you would have in like a shonen, where it's okay, this is the final crunch for them. It was just all really good. It was all really good shit. One thing I do want to say, in which I feel like I should have talked about this a long time ago, because it's something that I noticed a long time ago, but with everything that was happening and like being interested in like the big imagination of, oh my god, go away, the big imagination of Midori and stuff like that, it's something that I didn't know. I forgot to talk about is what I'll say, and I'm pretty sure like it's easily something that a lot of people may have not noticed, but when talking about storytelling in this show, there's something to be said about the story, not the storytelling of the characters anime, but the storytelling of the anime itself. And if there is any story that is to be extrapolated from this anime outside of three girls making an anime, let me ask this question: why is there so much water? I started thinking that maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago, where I was like, yo, there's a lot of fucking water in the, I think it was, what episode was that? It was about 4 or 5 episodes ago, where I was like, yo, there's a lot of fucking water in this show. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait, last episode a street was flooded. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is like a waterway. It was like, no, this is a street, and they were like, oh, cool, it's flooded. I was like, what the fuck? And once again, I forgot to talk about it. Every time that I would notice it in the show, and I was like, oh, I should probably talk about that. And then I'd forget to talk about it. And last episode was one of the main parts where I was like, yeah, I should probably talk about that. And while I don't think that it's like something that should be like looked at in the, you know, in the grand scheme of the show or something like that, it is something to be like looked at or talked about in, like, I guess in any way, really, is that if you look at it, if you do look at it in the grand scheme of things, Midori is a little girl who lives in not like a post-apocalyptic, but like a post-apocalyptic like ecosystem, like where either like ice caps have melted and everything's like damn near flooded, or I don't fucking know. The sea level has risen for some reason. Maybe the moon is fucked or something. There's a million things that you could probably like guess off brick. And if you go back to the globe that they showed, is that a word? Showed at the end of the episode, there was like holes in like continent. There was like holes in like some continents were just like looked like somebody took a bite out of that continent. And to me, I was like, okay, if it was like ice caps, it would have looked a little bit more like shores began to eat away at began to eat away at, like, you know, not shores, but the water began to eat away at shores. In this situation, it seems more likely that, like, water levels rose because of rain. And for some reason, it just rains a lot. Now, granted, in the beginning, we got a lot of, like, in this show, we got a lot of rain. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, maybe, you know, I'm just thinking, it's Japan. As far as I know, is whenever I see fucking, I've never been to Japan, but goddamn, whenever I see it in, like, pop culture or, like, shows or whatever, it ain't the sunniest place in the world. To be honest with you, I don't think Japan is the sunniest place in the world. Not even close. But in this show, I think it just rains a fucking lot, and the water levels rose for some reason, and the world is at the fucking brink, literally. In this world, I say all this because in this world, this girl by the name of Midori, her entire plan, like her entire dream, is to create the perfect world in her mind. And when you live in a world, like, okay, maybe I'm going too far with it, but like when you live in a world that is literally being taken over by water, meaning that you can barely do anything, if everything is like, if the world is now more than 70% water, like, and this world looks like it's about 90% water, that your idea of fun, or your go-to thing to do, like, with fun, is probably not really something that you can do anymore. So for this place to be so overrun with water, and the world to be, I don't think the world's ending in this show or anything like that, but I think the world's not in the the best place, or maybe it's just an alternate universe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably thinking too hard about it, but I just find it cool that in a world like this, where water is, like, literally taking over the surface of the earth, and you know, things don't look as ideal, this girl by the name of Midori has the dream of, like, retreating into her imagination and creating the perfect world, which she brings other people into. So in this probably sucky world, Midori has the potential to relieve a lot of what's on other people's mind. Like, we're seeing this through the eyes of children, right? Like, we have to continue to, like, remember that we're seeing this through the eyes of children. So things probably aren't as bad to them as, like, their parents, who are, like, watching the news every day, and they're like, water levels risen by another 1 to 2% in the past year, and they're like, oh shit, are we all gonna drown? Sorry, this sounds fucking stupid. Oh shit, are we all gonna drown? And this girl is trying to, unknowingly probably, but bringing, like, people into a more interesting or better world by writing, drawing, and creating these stories and these, like, this animation. It's probably why so many people were with it when they got on social media and stuff, because they saw it and they're like, oh wow, what a great distraction. You know, it's, once again, I'll say it for the 4th time, I'm probably thinking way too hard about this, but when I did start thinking about it, it made the story so, like, my headcanon made the story so much more sweet than it already was. It was already a really sweet story of, like, a couple girls making anime. But then when you think of it as a couple girls making anime for a world that is probably drowning, oh, that's some good shit. That is some good shit. If there is, I you know what, with the way that Eizouken is, like, the way that Eizouken is, I don't think they need, like, a super dark turn or anything. That's ridiculous. I probably just watched too much Attack on Titan or in JoJo. It doesn't need, like, a super dark turn. But if they ever wanted to, if for some reason they ever wanted to, the world drowning is a great angle. A girl bringing hope to a world that's drowning is a great angle. Please do that. You don't got to. You don't have to. Honestly, if they were like, yeah, Eizouken 2's coming out, it's season 2, we coming back, and it's more of the same, I'm with it. But if you wanted to be like, hey, let's do something real dark, shit, there's your idea. But yeah, altogether, outside of like the theories and like, oh, what's actually going in the background of the world, like outside of that, this was a really good show. I am like, this is, I came out of the show feeling really good. And as I've said before in like an earlier episode, I feel like if you enjoy anime, you should watch it. Not if you're a fan of anime, but if you enjoy anime, you should probably watch this show, just so you can appreciate what you enjoy and appreciate the hard work that goes into what you enjoy. Because as anime fans, we don't really like, as an anime fan, like anime fans don't have a hard time like enjoying anime. But for someone that enjoys anime, I feel like this is a show that you can watch and be like, damn, my respect for animators and people that make anime do anime shit. My respect for them is through the roof now. And I know that there's other series that are like this, where it's people making anime or something like that. I haven't seen them, but I know there's just other series like it. This one's in particular, even without watching the other series, this one in particular is going to hold like a special place in my heart of like anime, about creating anime, just with how much soul was behind it. Like, you could truly tell that the person, the mangaka, whoever created this this show, this anime, this manga, whatever, really had a lot of passion for it, and really like was able to write their woes and stuff onto this paper, which is when you make the best kind of art, when you make the best kind of media, is when you can kind of like write a little bit of yourself and a little bit of what you've experienced into your work, like deadlines and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's something that every mangaka or animator has had to, deal with. Like, of course, deadlines are just a thing. So being able to write that type of stuff and make it interesting, obviously you have a passion for it, obviously you have a love for it, and you can obviously tell that this anime has a lot of heart, and it's great. It's just great. This was just a really good one. So I'm afraid to sign off, because goddamn it, that means that it's over. I really do hope that Eizouken gets like a second season. Anime like this unfortunately doesn't. I don't know how big the fan base for Eizouken is, but hopefully one day we get that news. Oh yeah, season 2. And if it is actually out, please let me know, because I need to get into that. But yeah, this was a great one. This was a really good one that we watched. Hopefully we get to see it again. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. Yeah, do all the YouTube shit. I don't know. I hate outros. If you want more, I can't even say that because it's over. Fuck. If you want to see the full length reaction to this, Patreon or whatever else we watch, all that stuff. Once again, I hate outros. We have Discord, Patreon, Instagram, all that other stuff. We got it all. And yeah, as always, let me get my off button ready. This is a fucking scuffed outro, but once again, I hate outros. Y'all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.